to my channel and welcome to another Q&A video. I asked you guys to send me some questions and you guys delivered, let me tell you. But I did think it was really funny because I always say, like, doesn't have to be sticker related, it doesn't have to be sticker shop related, and most of the questions that I get are sticker related. I know you guys want to know the answers to all those. The funny thing is, most of the questions that have been asked in this video, I've already addressed in like all the other Q&A videos. I'm gonna address them again because I know I have a lot of new subscribers and people who haven't seen those videos, but definitely feel free to check out all of those videos because I answer a ton of stuff. And you know, so if you ever think of a question, make sure you check out those videos and see if I've already answered it, because chances are I've probably already addressed it. All that being said, let's just jump right in to this Q&A. I'm so excited because I did get a lot of questions that weren't sticker related because I specifically asked for non-sticker related stuff. So I'm gonna address the like personal Q&A stuff first, and then I'll get into the sticker Q&A. So don't worry, if you ask a question about sticker shop related stuff, I'm gonna be answering it. I'm just gonna answer the personal ones first because those are my favorite. I feel like you guys really get to know me, and I don't know, whenever I'm watching somebody on YouTube, I want to know more about them. Even if they're doing something really cool that I want to know about, I also want to know more about them as well. So that's why I just find it really fun to answer questions about myself. that sounds really weird and self-centered, and I don't mean it that way. But I just find it fun to get to know the person that you're watching, the person behind the camera, behind the Etsy shop. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so the first question is a big question, you guys. And it is, do James and I want children? No, we do not want any kids. I've never wanted kids I've never had a moment in my life where I was like, yes, I want to have kids, I want to have kids. To me, and this may offend people and I'm so sorry if it does, to me the whole process just like really creeps me out of like growing a baby inside of you. It just really creeps me out. So I definitely don't want that. I have a lot of anxiety and depression issues. I don't want to have to deal with that after having children, and I just don't want to be responsible for raising a child in today's world. Guys, I'm doing great just to like keep myself in check. I don't have time to deal with like a tiny human. So that's just like part of the reasons, but I really have never wanted kids, and actually told James that before we even started dating. So we were on the same page that we didn't want any kids. And for a while we talked like maybe adoption, but honestly, like neither one of us want kids. We don't want that responsibility. We really like our life and just the two of us. So I definitely don't see kids in our future ever at all. We have a niece and two nephews, and they're great, and we like see them, you know, at like birthday parties and like at church and stuff, and like whatever, we talk to them, hang out with them, get them cool gifts for the cool aunt and uncle. But as far as like having our own children, no kids for us. Career choice if you weren't a shop owner. So like, you guys probably don't know this about me. I've always wanted to be a singer, always. Like my entire life I've wanted to be a singer. And so like James and I sing in children's church every other Sunday. So I kind of get my like singing fill there, but I would love to one day be a famous singer. I don't know what kind of music I would want to sing. I really like Christian music. I also really like pop music, so I could see myself kind of going either or with that. But I just love singing so much, and like that's what I've wanted to do my entire life. And I'm not like writing that off or saying that I'm not gonna do that at some point in my life. Right now, that is not something that I'm actively pursuing at the moment, but I definitely can see myself later on in life doing that. I just need to get a handle on my anxiety because, you guys, I get so anxious even singing in front of children. Like, I really need to like work on that. So singing at children's church has been great for me because it really does push me every week or every other week to sing in front of people. And so that is something that I would absolutely love to do with my life if given the opportunity. That would be like my dream job. Other than that, I would love to be a full-time YouTuber. What are you looking forward to this fall/winter? I'm looking forward for it to being over. No, I'm just kidding. I actually absolutely hate winter, and I hate this time of year just because my anxiety can get really rough in the winter months when it's like cooler and gloomy. Like today it's like really gloomy outside. Thankfully it's not cold here, but I just don't really like it. But I do have a lot of fun stuff coming up this fall and winter that I am excited about. So I next month I'm going to the Chiefs football game in Tennessee with my family. I am so excited. If you guys didn't know, I'm from Kansas City. I grew up in Kansas City, well, outside of Kansas City, but in a small little town in Missouri. And so I'm so excited to be going to the Chiefs game with my family. So we're doing that. I'm going to visit my family for Thanksgiving. And then James and I's 5-year anniversary is coming up in December. And then we're going to Disney World for Christmas, and I'm so excited, like Christmas, New Year's time, and we go every year, and it's my favorite thing. Like, it's my favorite holiday tradition that we do. So I'm excited about that, and then after that, I'm just excited for it to become spring again, to be honest. Is James as close to his family as you are to yours? You talk about visiting your family, but I never hear you talk about visiting his. So the reason that I never talk about visiting his is because they actually live here, so we see them all the time. We see them at church every Sunday. We see them a lot of times, like on the weekends, we'll go to dinner with them, or even during the week, we're gonna see them tonight because we're going to our church's like fall fair. We're helping out at that. So we see his family all the time. That's why I never talk about visiting them, because we don't have to go anywhere to visit them. Like, we literally we all live around here. So that's why I never talk about them. But he is really close to his family, but it just, like, you know, I just don't show everything. But, you know, I just don't show everything because I don't want to shove cameras in people's faces. Also, there's young kids involved, and I just don't think that YouTube or the internet is a place for kids. But so personally, like, I don't want to put like anybody on camera because I just don't feel like that's safe, and I just also want to respect them. I'm not their parents, so I don't want to, you know, don't want to do that. But also, like, if I ever had kids, which I've already addressed that I'm not, but I would not put them online. That is just me. I just don't think it's safe for kids, and just wouldn't do that to any children. So, but yeah, that's why I never talk about them. It's just because we see them all the time. So I don't really feel the need to say, hey, we're going to James's parents' house, because it's literally like 2 minutes down the road, you know. Whereas like my family is 8 hours down the road. So I do talk about that because we actually have to leave to go see them. I know you said you live a decent way away from your family. Did you decide to live where you live because of James's work? So when James and I got married, my family was actually living in Raleigh, and we live in the Greensboro area is where I'm gonna say. And so James has always, well, not always, but he's lived here for a really long time, and his whole family lives here. I mean, his like parents and siblings. And so once he graduated school, he got his job, and he was already working his job when we got married. So I moved here because at the time I was just a nanny. I wasn't making as much as James. So it didn't make sense for him to quit his job and move to Raleigh after we got married. So I moved here, and then my parents ended up moving to Nashville like the year after that. And so yeah, the reason that we're here though is just because this is where James lived, and he already had his job, and it didn't make sense for him to quit his job. And he just got a big promotion at work, so I feel like we're here for at least a little while longer. But at some point we definitely want to move to the Nashville area to be closer to my family. And then at some point in our lives, I don't know, I can't really speak for James, but I would love to move to Florida, because that is where like I just feel like happiest when I'm there. So, and I know people say, well, it's different when you live there versus on vacation, and I get that, but like personally, just the weather and everything about Florida, just I want to live there. I do not like North Carolina. You guys know that, it's not a secret. I love Tennessee, but it's just not, the weather still isn't exactly what I want, but I definitely want to live near my family again. So that is something that's down the road, not happening right now. But yeah, that is why we're here, is just because this is where James lived for, I mean, he's lived here for 21 years now. So he's originally from like Seattle, Washington, but then his family moved here, and he's been here for like 21 years or something crazy like that. Which are your favorite oils? If you guys didn't know, I do use essential oils. I don't find them to be beneficial for my health. I don't find them to help with anything like that. But I have replaced my candles with essential oils, just because candles, since I've developed this weird sinus issue, candles like really bother me. And so I can light a candle, and 5 minutes later I'm completely stuffed up and can't see straight. So I have replaced candles with essential oils. So that's what I'm doing with them. But like I said, they don't do anything, like as far as relieving my sinus problems, they don't do anything for me. But I would say my favorites, I really like spearmint, peppermint, wintergreen, stuff like that. I really like that. I like the jade lemon from Young Living. I like that one. That one smells really nice. So I'd say that those are probably my favorites. Okay, moving on into the sticker related stuff that you guys want to know. So you said you pre-made basic stickers and just copy and paste and change colors. Did you make them in Silhouette software, import them from another software? I pretty much do all of my designing in Silhouette software. The only thing that I make outside of Silhouette Studio is my glitter patterns for my glitter headers. But other than that, I really don't do anything in Photoshop. Like I design everything in Silhouette. What is your biggest, okay, so I guess this isn't all sticker related, but what is your biggest life regret? Would you want to do anything over? So my biggest life regret is actually that I didn't call my grandpa the night before he died. I called him every single night, and I had talked to him that day, but I was watching a movie with my sister, and when I realized what time it was, I knew that my grandparents were already gonna be in bed. I didn't want to wake them, so I was just like, I'll just call in the morning and check in. And then of course morning came and my grandfather had passed away. So that is probably my biggest regret. I know that he knew that I loved him. Like it, you know, it's not even like a regret like that. It was just more of like, I wish I would have been able to say goodbye. And there's obviously no way for me to know that, because it wasn't, it was kind of a shock that he died, to be honest. I mean, he passed away from a heart attack. So there was really no way for me to know that that was gonna happen. But I just always, like, that is like my one thing. Like I wish, like I wish I would have just called. And, you know, I just didn't want to wake anybody up. But like part of me wishes like if I had known, I would have called, you know. So that's probably the only, like my biggest life regret. And as far as like would I want to do anything over? Not really. I feel like everything that's happened in my life has led to me being the person that I am, and I'm happy with the person that I am. So I don't know that there's anything that I would want to do over or, you know, fix in my life. I think that all the pain and everything that I've gone through has worked to make me the person that I am. And while it's been painful, I've also needed that to get to where I am. So I don't think that there's anything that I would do over or change. Like I think my life, even though my life hasn't gone the way that I had planned, I think that it's gone exactly the way that it was supposed to. Where do you see yourself in the future, like 5 to 10 years? Hopefully living in Tennessee near my family. I would love for YouTube to be my full-time job. I'd still love to be doing stickers, but I think I'm more passionate about YouTube and making videos, to be honest. And that's originally what I was doing before I started making stickers. So, you know, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, like I would absolutely love for YouTube to be a full-time income, something that I do all the time. But, you know, I'd also love to like break into the singing world, as I've already said. But you know, I try not to plan out too far in advance, because the thing is, you never know what's gonna happen in life. And I think it's important to have goals, obviously, but like I try not to think about 5 or 10 years down the line, because I'm trying to really focus on the now, the here and the now, and what's going on, and just enjoy life every moment, because we're not promised tomorrow. So I just try to enjoy today, and whatever happens in 5 to 10 years is gonna happen. And you know, so that's a really hard question, because I see James and I still just being goofy with no kids. And in 10 years, I'll be 40. So maybe I'll actually look my age. I don't know. That would be nice to look my age. I know everybody's like, you'll appreciate this. I've literally been told this forever, you guys. I was told when I was 20 that I'll appreciate when I'm 30 and I look like I'm 20. Guess what? I don't appreciate it. I absolutely hate it. Like, people call you things like cute, and it just like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm a 30-year-old woman. I don't want to be referred to as cute. Like, and I know people don't mean that like in an offensive way. It's just, it like drives me crazy, you guys. It honestly, if I'm being honest, it drives me crazy, because I'm just like, I'm 30. I'm 30. I know I don't look like I'm 30, but please, please, I'm not 5. Like, please don't call me cute. Next question is, do you have any big dreams or goals? I would love to be a singer. That's a big dream of mine. as far as goals, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm really happy with my life and I'm happy with my jobs and the things that I'm doing. And not that like I wouldn't want to do other stuff, but like right here and now, like these are the things that I'm wanting to do. I'm living out my dreams and my goals. So yeah, but you know, you always, like throughout life, you get new goals and new things that you're dreaming of. So who knows, like next year I could have a totally different thing that I want to do. Okay, next question. How and why did you get into sticker making? Was it because you were a planner, or what was it that led you to have a sticker shop? What was your initial investment, printer, machine, and paper, and how long before it became a full-time job for you? So I've definitely talked about this in lots of other Q&As. I think I answer this question in like every Q&A. Basically, I got into sticker making because I was into planners. I had found the Erin Condren Planner and I was going to use it to keep track of my YouTube schedule, because before I got into sticker making, I was just doing YouTube. I had just gotten married and James makes enough money that we don't have to really worry about me working. I work because I want to, but like we would change like our spending habits obviously if I didn't have my income, but we don't really rely on that to pay bills. So we could still, I could totally not work and we could still like afford to live here. And pretty much the only thing that would change is we wouldn't take as many trips. Like we wouldn't go on vacation to a lot of different places. But so he basically told me I didn't have to find a job right away. Like I could figure out what I wanted to do. And I really wanted to grow my YouTube channel at the time. That was definitely like my goal, my dream. I wanted to make it big on YouTube. And so I found the Erin Condren Planner and I found stickers and I was like, this is crazy. And the price that people were charging was crazy to me. And so James actually just bought all my stuff for me. It was gifted to me and I just started making stickers for myself. I didn't have any plans to open a shop, but my mom was like, hey, you should just see what happens. Just put them up on Etsy. You know, you're already making them for yourself. See what happens. And so that's kind of how that all came about. And so it was basically a full-time job from the get-go, as far as like that's what I've been doing, because I didn't have any other job really. I mean, I was doing YouTube, but nothing else. So right from the get-go, it was a full-time job. The initial investment, I think my printer was like $200 to $300. The cutting machine was like 200 something. And then paper, I think at the time I was using the Staples brand. I don't even remember how much it was. So it was definitely a couple $100s, but it, like I said, it was gifted to me. And as far as like how long it would take to become a full-time job, so for me personally, I don't know that I would ever make stickers a full-time job if I needed the income, because it's so up and down sometimes. Like some months you'll have like a really great month and then the next month it's like nothing happens. And so I personally am not a huge risk taker in that way. Like I would never just rely on that. So if we needed the income, I would go like have a separate job and then do stickers on the side. So for me, I don't know that it would ever become a full-time thing if I needed the money. Like that sounds bad. Not that I don't need the money that I'm making, but like we don't rely on that to pay bills. And if I relied on something to pay bills, I would not rely on sticker shop, because it is so up and down. It's so unpredictable. And I just see a lot of people who have made that their full-time thing, and a lot of shops, even just this year, I've seen quit because they relied so heavily on it and they got burnt out. And so it's not something that I would necessarily suggest as a full-time job, unless you're doing like consistently, you're doing really, really well and you've saved like a year's worth of income to like fall back on. Before it would become a full-time job, I would recommend it being like consistent for like a year and you've saved a year's worth of income. How did you come up with your sticker sheet formats? I just played around with it. There's not like a real secret to this. I actually have a couple videos showing you guys how I set up my kits. There's not, I mean, it's just, I just think of how, I say this all the time, but like I think of what I want in sticker kits. I think of what I'm gonna use, because ultimately I'm making them for me. And then I'm putting them out there if anybody wants them. And so that's kind of how I format stuff. I mean, I do try to take into consideration what people are buying and what my customers want, but I don't know. I just like play around with stuff until it looks like I want it on the sheet. And there's not like a secret code, you know? Would you consider doing printables? I've thought about it. My drawback on doing printables is you're not supposed to sell the cut files through from Silhouette, and so I know a lot of shops get off by like saying it's like gifted, free, whatever. So I don't really want to do printables like that would have cut files with them. And I know that some of the clip art that I use, like it specifically says you can't use them as printables. So I'm not against printables, but I don't know if that's the route that I'm gonna go. If I did, it would be like just basic like half boxes, you know, very functional stuff that I myself have created, and it wouldn't come with cut files, so it would definitely have to be like hand cut. What is your biggest tip for an aspiring sticker shop owner? Okay, do not talk yourself out of it. Go for it, go all in. You know, like so many people, it's really funny because so many people are like, how many items do you have to have in your shop before you can open, and how blah blah blah. I didn't plan anything, you guys. I literally was already making stickers for myself. I put up one sticker kit in my shop, one. And granted, at the time it was a very different market because I started back in 2015. So it was very, very different. I started in like May of 2015 and there were not a lot of people doing this at the time. So I know things are different now, but don't overthink it too much. Just get in there, like do your research. Obviously, I wouldn't necessarily suggest to do it the way I did it, but don't overthink it and talk yourself out of it, because I see so many people saying, well, I can't start yet because I have to have 100 designs in my shop. No, like just start now with what you have and build yourself up. And don't talk yourself out of it. Don't give up. It is hard. It's a lot harder now than it was when I started. But if you really, really want something, if you're really, really passionate about it, then you need to go at it full force and not let anyone or anything stop you. And you know, I think that it's great if you want to be a shop owner. I think there's still plenty of room out there. I know a lot of shop owners say the market's oversaturated, and just no, like if you have something unique, you bring yourself into your stickers, you know, make them unique to you and your style, and you have something that nobody else has, like you. So be creative and make it your own, and don't just copy everybody else. And I think that there's room for you here. I think that there's still plenty of market, and there's a ton of people still finding the sticker community. And also there's as sad as this is, there's a lot of shops that are closing too. So I mean, you know, there's always shops opening and closing, and if you want it, go for it. Like, don't let anybody stop you. This is your life. You only get one shot, so go for it. That's my biggest advice. Just don't hold yourself back thinking I'm not prepared. Just do what you can, but also like set an opening date. Say I'm gonna open by November 15th or whatever, and stick to it and open and put your stuff up there, and just, you know, work hard at it. Cause like if you're passionate about it, just do it. So how do you handle getting orders out when you participate in a big collab sale? I mean, I handle it the same as getting any orders. I just go through my list, I print everything off, and I cut it. I make sure that I allow myself extra time, so I might up my processing time if I know I'm gonna be in a big group sale. But honestly, I mean, it's the same process that I use to fulfill any orders. I just do them. I don't really know. I know a lot of shops have different methods to how they do things. I just, you know, I will write down everything that I need to print. I will print everything, I will cut everything, and then I'll start packaging all the orders and putting everything together. All right, next question is, where does your shop traffic come from mostly? YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram? Okay, so if I'm being completely honest with you guys, YouTube has grown my shop so much this year. So I've actually made double what I made last year for the entire year. I've already doubled that, and we're not even done with this year yet. And so if I'm being completely honest, like YouTube has really helped. When I look at like my Shopify, it'll say most of my traffic has come from Facebook. Some weeks it'll say most of it has come from Instagram, and some weeks it'll say most of it has come from YouTube. So it's all just kind of depends on the week, I guess. But yeah, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like a ton of traffic has come from YouTube, and I'm just so so blessed and so grateful. So thank you guys so much. If you've watched my videos, if you checked out my shop, if you've ordered from me, it really, really does mean a lot to me. And I'm just so excited and happy with how this year has gone. And you guys have really made it a really awesome year. So thank you guys. Okay, do you draw your designs? I've actually answered this in another video, but I'll answer it again. No, I don't. I have drawn a couple things. There's a couple things in my shop that are hand drawn by me. It's my little shark character, but I do not draw like anything in my kits. I purchase clip art. I wish I could draw, like I wish I was that talented, but I'm not. How long does it take you to design a new kit, and where do you get your inspiration? So for my kits, right now I'm reformatting, but normally like I have my format set up and I will just go in, I'll open a file, I'll click save as, and I'll save it as like the new file or the new kit name. And it'll take me anywhere from like an hour to an hour and a half maybe, because most of what I'm doing is just changing colors. The biggest like time consuming thing would be the full boxes, and normally when I find clip art I already have an idea in my head of like how I want it to look. So normally that takes me about 30 minutes to an hour, and then the rest of it is just changing colors and, you know, putting different patterns in like the half boxes and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where it takes me. And where do I get my inspiration from? I literally just look for stuff that I like, that I want to put in my planner. And that is the biggest piece of advice I have for you if you're making stickers, to just make stuff that you personally will use and that you like. And if you're doing that, you will find people who like your stuff and who like your style if you're bringing your unique style to it. So that's like my biggest tip if you're making stickers, to definitely make them for yourself first and foremost. I mean, it's great to have customer input. I'm not saying like don't do that, but like ultimately like make stuff that you are gonna use. You know, every now and then I'll come out with a kit that I would have no interest in using, like for instance, back to school kits. I don't use back to school kits. I don't have kids and I'm not in school. So for me, like I'm not gonna use that kit, but I know I do have people out there that have kids that are going back to school or that are in school that want a back to school kit. So I will release that. But most of my designs are stuff that I personally like love and will use. So yeah. Okay guys, so that is it for this Q&A video. I feel like it was super long, but I hope you guys got to learn a little bit more about me and about my sticker shop, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell notification. If you click the bell notification, make sure to click all so you don't miss any of my videos. And that is gonna wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.
Me.